Very good morning, students. Today we are going to see what is actually discrete mathematics. So, whenever we talk about the word discrete, another word comes into our mind is that continuous mathematics. See, the word continuous means there is no end at all. We can call it as infinite. So, continuous mathematics which is infinite, so definitely discrete mathematics will be finite. So, discrete mathematics, it is a special type of mathematics where the elements are finite, means or countably infinite. We can call it as finite or countably infinite, which we can count. For example, if we take a set of ordered pairs which we can represent all the ordered pairs, then we can call it as a discrete mathematics. So, discrete mathematics which is also called as finite and continuous which is infinite. So, let us see what is this discrete mathematics talks about. So, in this chapter we are going to see the special symbols. The symbols are, this symbol stands for belongs to. So, this is for every implies there exists. It is not written right, such that. So, these are the various symbols which we will use in our chapter. Now, let us see. So, first, before talking to this, if any operation, see, whenever we are talking about the word operation, what are the operations we have? Plus, minus, into and division. These are the four basic arithmetic operations. So, if any operation, if we are doing by one element, we have to call that operation as a unary operation. And if we are doing by using two elements, then you have to call it as a binary operation. So, like the trinary, all those things. If there are n elements, so on, if there are n elements, you have to call it as n-ary operations. A R Y is common, so n-ary operations. So, in this chapter, we are going to discuss binary operations. So, let us see what is binary operations actually. Binary operations. Now, to understand carefully about these binary operations, in the sense already I said that plus, minus, into and division. So, these are the four basic arithmetic operations which we are going to work out in this. So, binary operations, for example, let us take one thing. If m comma n are the two elements, so m plus n belongs to natural numbers, comma m into n that also belongs to natural numbers, comma for every m comma n belongs to natural. So, by this statement what we have understood, if I add two numbers, then the resulting will be a natural number. If I multiply any two numbers, then the resulting will also be a natural number. N stands for natural number. So, where n values are taken from 1, 2, 3, so on. These are the natural numbers. So, by the first, we can say that two elements are processed. How many elements are processed here? Two elements are processed. Why? Because our binary states already said that two elements should be processed. So, two elements are processed at a time. And the second one, the resulting element, the resulting is also an element of n, an element of natural. Means whatever the result that we are getting, if I do addition of these two variables, then the resulting will be also a natural number. So if these two things are happening, then I can say that the above operation is a binary operation. The above operation is a binary operation. So this is about the binary operation. So to be in a binary operation, there is conditions here. First condition is that each and every ordered pair, it should represent each and every ordered pair. So don't get confused about the ordered pair like this, A comma B. This is one ordered pair, 1 comma 5. This is one ordered pair where two elements are there. So that is called as ordered pair. So each and every ordered pair we have to represent, and the second one, every pair, every element in operation should be unique, must be unique. So only single element should be there. Okay, this is about the binary operations. Now let us see here. Binary operations properties. First, let us talk about closure property. So closure property states that, so whenever we are adding two elements, the resulting also is the same element. Previously we have shown that m plus n belongs to n. So here I am adding the two elements, the resulting also getting the same. So I can say that binary property on closure property. Means binary operations is satisfied for closure property. So the second one is, so this is for addition. Closure property, I am talking only about addition. And for multiplication also it is satisfied. Previously we have seen m into n. But when it comes to subtraction and division, when it comes to subtraction or division, if I talk m minus n belongs to n and m divided by n belongs to n. Why? Because it will not belongs to n. If I do subtraction of two numbers, it may be a negative number. So negative number will not come in natural numbers. So if I do division of two numbers, it will be a rational number or it may be a real number. So it will not belong to the natural number. So closure property on binary operations is satisfied only for addition and multiplication, but it is not satisfied for subtraction and division. So to overcome this, we have to understand here, if it is not belonging to natural, we have already learned the basic things. First, it will be a complex number. Okay, first natural number, next it will come integers, next real numbers, next it will be complex numbers. So there is an order here, okay, for rational numbers, real numbers and complex numbers. So n stands for natural, integers, rational, real and complex numbers. So complex numbers will have all these numbers. So complex number means is a set of real numbers, rational numbers, integers and natural numbers. So this all comes under subsets of this set. So this is the scenario. If it is not belonging to the natural numbers, then definitely among these it will belong to one. So that property it will satisfy. Next, let us talk about the commutative property. So binary operations on commutative property. So if I am talking about commutative property for addition, and subtraction and multiplication. Okay. So it comes next multiplication and division. So let us see about these four based on the commutative property and associative property. Also by using a table we will understand in better way. So first operations, we have 4 plus, minus, into and division. So natural numbers, integers, rational numbers, real numbers, and lastly the complex numbers. So we know that it will be satisfied for everything. So addition we can call it as the binary. For addition, for every, if it is belongs to Z means it will come Z only. If it is belongs to Q means it will come Q only. So it will be satisfied for all the binary. And even multiplication also. So binary. So here it will be first for natural numbers it is not binary. Remaining all it is binary. Next, so for division it is not at all binary for anything. Why? Because we will not get the natural number if I are dividing. If I are dividing by the integer, it may get real numbers also. That's the reason. So it is not binary. Not binary. So we need to remember this. So here we can say that minus is not binary for natural numbers and division is not binary for natural numbers, integers, rational numbers, real numbers and complex numbers as well. Now let us try to understand next topic. Let us go with one question. Examine the binary operation. Examine the binary operation of the question A star B is equals to A plus 3AB minus 5B square for every A comma B belongs to Z. Okay. Here we can see that A it is belonging to the integers. So let us see here. Here AB product. So already we learned that AB will be belongs to Z. Why? Because already A comma B is belongs to Z. Since A comma B belongs to Z, so product of the two numbers also will come a integer. Already we learnt previously. Now operation over next addition, next B square. Okay. So B into B, that also belongs to Z. Why? Because B belongs to Z. Here since B is belonging to Z, so B into B square means B into B if you do also it will belong to Z. So variables completed. Now operations here, plus is binary on Z. Why? Because plus addition is already binary on Z. whenever we add two numbers, so it will become, so we can say that a plus 3ab also belongs to z. Why? Because a comma b belongs to z. Next, place over minus. Minus is also binary on z. See, minus is not binary on natural numbers, but minus is binary on integers. So I can write now a plus 3ab minus 5b square for every a comma b belongs to z. So finally we can say that it is a binary operation. Now let us see the binary operation properties. First one is commutative property. So commutative property is a asterisk b, b asterisk a. Any of the operations we can say for every a comma b belongs to S, where S is a set, a non-empty set we can call. So this is about the commutative property. Next, associative property. So three variables we have to take, that is a star b star c is equal to a star b star c for every a comma b comma c belongs to a set S. So commutative property, associative property. Next, existence of identity. Identity property. Suppose A is a set, so A into E is equals to E into A is equals to A. If we are getting like this, so we can say that it is a where A belongs to belongs to set S. So that is existence of identity. So existence of inverse. Existence of inverse, we can say that if an identity element, E exists. So if you are saying that an identity element E exists for every A belongs to S, then we can say that A into B is equals to E, and B into A also we can say it as E. Then we have to say that B also belongs to S. So A already belongs to S, then if we are saying B belongs to S, then we can write A is equals to B inverse. Sorry. A inverse is equals to B. Why? Because for A, inverse is existing. So this is the existence of inverse.